Vincenzo'S Go Crypto Investing, and another coin update as we've had a phenomenal pumps and dumps across the board today, right? We're gonna go over our REVAIN coin for my lovely subscriber. We're gonna briefly go over this, and we're gonna do this again. We'll go to the 2-hour time frame today to give us a little bit more candles to look at, right? But you can see we had that big pump yesterday. I believe it was yesterday or the overnight yesterday morning, early morning, we had that pump. And I said that I believe this is a huge fake out, and this would eventually end up back down into the circle area. And you can see that it's very close. And I was advocating, if you bought prior to that 40% pump or whatever it was, or 60, whatever it ended up being, to sell into that, because this was going to come all the way back down, and it has. Now, if you're trying to see if this is going to have another pump, what you want to look for, what you want to see happen as you're getting supported on that yellow or the red ring, what you want to see happen to get some support now is to try to get back over this old resistance line that it fell back through, and it tried to hold it as brief support. You can see that little green wick in the middle there next to the big tall green candles, right? Then it had the flash drop, red candle, and then a little green flash wick, and then it crashed. You want to see it get back over that, right? Hold on a second. That's what you want to see it get over, the 0.01164-ish. If you can get over that, then you can try to get bullish again and try to make another run up at that Wick's peak. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think in this bearish market, as the Federal Reserve talks tomorrow about how they're going to start to raise interest rates next year, that's going to have very negative bearish sentiment on the overall coins. All the cryptocurrency, when they hear the Federal Reserve and the federal government start to tighten and raise interest rates, that puts downward pressure on risk assets and crypto especially. So the 0.01164 is your major overhead resistance if you're trying to get bullish in this coin, or it's going to fall back down to that 0.08, about where it started from a few days ago, right? That's what I think is going on in REVAIN coin. I would not anticipate another big pump up way up to the brief high that it just made. Just the overall market's too bearish. This coin's been going pretty much as expected from the $32 mark. We've been very bearish on this coin, right? From down here where we thought the moving average would be, and now it's starting the downtrend there. And then it's been rejected, and you can see the price has come down to our first target of $25, right? It hit it a little bit sooner than we had it, but nonetheless, it hit it, right? You can see that right here. If you bring that over here, you can see we hit the $25, and we're trying to bounce off of that and maybe get back up, break out of this falling channel that we were in, right? Because we've been in a long falling channel, and if we can't hold this and break out of it, right, you're going to come down to the $21 as your next underneath support. But if you do ever break out of this to the upside, you would be making a run up here near the moving average, right? If you could ever break out of this with some volume, you would start breaking up near the moving average, which into the future would be sitting up there at about $33, right? But right now, if you're playing this as it's been, it's going to get rejected where it's at, and then you're going to start to trade down towards the lower part of this falling wedge and come down towards these lower support levels that we got mapped out at the $21 mark, right? So that's what's going on there. I'm still very bearish across most of the crypto sphere, besides these off coins that pump because they've been down so much, right? You can't keep track of everything, but I'm very bearish in the overall sentiment of the market ahead of the Federal Reserve coming out. Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, is going to talk tomorrow, and I think you're going to see crypto sell off because he's going to talk about tightening. You can see we've been in this falling wedge, or this falling channel here in this coin, but he's going to talk about reducing the asset purchasing and bond purchasing quicker by early spring. Early 2022 in the springtime, everyone's saying we're going to be done with the taper, meaning they're not going to purchase any more assets, stocks, bonds, and all that. And then they're going to start raising interest rates late spring, early summer, and that's going to have a very bearish on risk assets, the EV market, the technology sector, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff gets hit heavy and hard when they start taking away some of the cheap money and raising or threatening to raise interest rates, and let alone actually doing it. But right now, if you want to try to get some support in DAPP, you got to break back into this falling channel that you've been in all the way since back there. And if you need to break back into there, you're going to have a pretty big fall. And to break back into there, you got to hop over this major support level and try to trade back up to upper resistance. And your major support to try to break back in, or your upper resistance, my mistake, to try to break back in to this falling wedge that we were in to try to get a little bit more bullish, is up here at 0.0024, right? And if you can't break back into there and you keep getting rejected, your next underneath target really is all the way down here. If we put our horizontal array tool in here, you'll be able to see it a lot clearer. Scroll over to it. You can see way down here would be your next target, right? And you can see how far down that is. It's quite a long fall if you can't break back into this falling channel. And if you break down on the brief support that you briefly broke down under this 20 cents, your underneath target for any kind of major buying power or pressure would be all the way down here at 0.001. That's a pretty substantial fall, right? So we're going to see if you can't break back into there. If you can get some buyers and break back into there, you would have an upper target of the upper end of this falling channel that you were in, which would be up over in this direction in a few days, and that would be up about the 0.0028, right? So that's what's going on in DAPP. NORD today, we'll get to DIVI, but NORD, we had a big pump today in NORD. They're kind of going through the market, and again, you're coming up just like we were. Remember, my man, when we were talking about this coin back here with our industry exclusive drawing tool, how we were up here and we had your major overhead resistance was this blue ring, and it kept getting rejected, and then your major underneath support was this uptrending line, right? We remember that. We were going over that for several days as it was hitting these tops 3 times up there. Now, if you go look, the price is lower from where the pump started, but look at that. Look right where you wicked up to again, right there. That blue fib circle has acted as resistance, just like it did 1, 2, and 3 times back there. Even from a lower price, after we hit that underneath target from where we thought it could come back up here, and it didn't. It just came down to the underneath target, the top of the volume indicator, where there should be some buyers there, because if you break into that, you get very bearish, and there's a lot of sellers. But if we look at it, you're getting big candle wicks as we zoom in, and you're already getting heavy sell pressure, as this could be what I fear it is another one of those, just like the prior 3 that we showed you, where you had a phenomenal pump, hit the blue ring, and then you end up trading back down even lower than you started on a quick sell-off. And if you can't get over this blue fib circle, you're underneath target. This is going to be another one of those cases of where they pump the market a little bit to get some buyers in there so that they can unload, and then you crash. This would be your underneath support, this fib circle down here at $2.43. If you can't get over top of the blue fib circle that it appears you're getting rejected by again, just like you did 3 other times, and that would be at the $4.90 level where you're at now. If you can't break that, you're going to come all the way back down to here to the $2.43 level, right? So that's what's going on in the altcoins right now. Bitcoin's been pumping and dumping, but I think we're going to get I think this is a big fake out right now. And as the Fed talks and the Fed chairman Jerome Powell talks tomorrow, I think risk assets are going to get hammered tomorrow. I think gold might even have a big sell-off as they talk about raising interest rates. And as they talk about raising interest rates, the risk assets will also get hammered even worse, as those are the things that get beat down when the tight and easy money starts to go away. Money gets tight, harder to borrow. Government stops purchasing assets, bonds, stocks, treasuries, and all that good stuff. Some of the liquidity starts coming out of the stock market, right? So we'll pay attention for that, and I'll keep you updated. Peace and love. Peace and love.